of the league is people that buy gigantic houses. And they spend their next 7 years yelling at their kids upstairs in the 27,000 square foot house. Whenever I see these rich people buy these huge houses, I'm like, you can't possibly have kids. You're screaming constantly to find them. Smaller the house, the more the love in the house. You're around each other, right? And I've always had this feeling about face of the league. The NBA's had 3 all time. No, you think they've had 8, 10. Wilt wasn't the face of the league. He was flaky and weird. Kareem was the best player for over a decade. Stoic. I mean, you watched the HBO series on Kareem. That was very accurate. He was difficult to get along with. And Magic Johnson gets along with everybody. The league has had, there's a story this morning, Jason Tatum gets glossed over or ignored when observers consider face of the league. Hell, he wasn't face of the Celtics in the finals. Jaylen Brown was. Marcus Smart, 2 years earlier, was taking the ball from him. There's something about movie stars. Tom Cruise is a movie star. John Malkovich is a great actor. Denzel Washington, that's a movie star. Jeremy Irons, you could argue maybe a better actor, some would say. Maybe not. But there's a cool and a charisma. Tatum's excellent. He's not in the same zip code as cool. Zion had a chance to be face of the league, but he ate himself out of playing time. Ja Morant maybe had a chance. He wasn't mature enough. There's been 3 faces of the league, and I've been watching this league since I was on a bunk bed in 1972 watching Wilt and the Lakers, old Wilt with a headband, Jerry West, Gail Goodrich. Yes, that's why I got this gray hair. I've watched a lot of NBA in the 70s. The rest of you collected baseball cards. I collected NBA cards. 3 faces of the league. Magic, Michael, and LeBron. And that is it. Whoa, what about Kobe Bryant? He wasn't as popular as Shaq. People worshiped Kobe's talent. People liked Shaq. What about Steph Curry? He's close, but you can have one face of the league, and in his prime, LeBron was in his prime. And Steph's never really sold shoes. And by the way, you generally have to be the best player on your own team. For several years with KD, he wasn't. And I'm a huge Steph fan. So there's a couple of factors that are really important. First of all, and this is why Steph is close, you have to have an otherworldly talent. We'd never seen anything like Magic Johnson. The smile, the passes. He was a 6'9" point guard. Against the Sixers in the finals, he played center and scored 42 points. Michael Jordan, greatest player ever. I mean, nobody played like Michael. You've never seen anything like Michael. And LeBron James, again, walked into the league the first night of the NBA out of high school. He scored 20 points. He was scoring 40 later that year. So you have to have otherworldly talent. You also have to want it. Michael, Magic, and LeBron are outstanding business guys. They read the business page before they read the sports page. And number 3, it really helps if we're introduced to you early. We're watching Michael Jordan as a freshman at North Carolina. Who is this kid? We're watching Magic Johnson win a natty over Larry Bird, national championship, Judd Heathcote, the Spartans. Who's this kid with all the crazy passes? And LeBron James in high school, the chosen one. This is where, like Tim Duncan was good enough, but boring. Kareem was great enough, but stoic. Kobe, little moody, little difficult. Shaq was more liked. But it really helps if we're introduced to you early, and that's where it hurts the international guys. None of us, I mean, I'm not sitting watching Lithuanian basketball on YouTube. Maybe you are. Most people are not. And that's why Zion had a chance. His YouTube stuff blew up and his crazy dunks, and then he goes to Duke, and then there's the shoe deal where it explodes, and it's Nike, and you're like, okay, here it goes. And he got a taste of that jambalaya and that New Orleans food, which I had for a week, and, he went a little sideways. A lot of sideways. So international guys sort of get dropped onto bad teams, and then you look up 3 years later with Giannis and go, whoo, that guy's amazing. We like the journey in America. We love the journey. We want to be introduced to you. The movie Air with Michael Jordan, we want to see you struggle. I mean, Magic Johnson, the personal stuff, HIV. We've seen Magic's journey. We love Magic. If you're at a Laker game, and this is the craziest thing. Magic's everywhere in Los Angeles. If you're at a Laker game and Magic Johnson walks into the arena, I am not joking, the crowd stands. It's insane. It's like he's all over town. You see him driving around town. Kareem walks into the arena, arguably a greater player. Nobody gets up. He's an intellect. He's fascinating. I have tons of respect for him. He was the best player when I was a kid, better than Wilt for sure. Greater offensive player than Russell, who I didn't see play live. But there is a charisma and a star power. Jaylen Brown isn't it. Nobody's overlooking Jaylen Brown. The only guy that's got an argument, to me, a real argument, is Steph Curry. But there's one face of the league, and in his prime, LeBron was in his prime. And I don't think sports need to have a face of the league. I mean, Ohtani is the face of baseball with Aaron Judge. Both appear to be great guys. One in New York, one in L.A. Do you have to have one? I mean, to me in baseball, it's more about what teams are winning. If the Yankees are winning, if the Dodgers are winning, Atlanta, Cubs, viable, maybe the Mets, baseball's fine. Phillies help as well, and that's why they're good. But this talk about face of the league, there's been 3 in my lifetime. It's not just about productivity, or Jeremy Irons would be the face of Hollywood. Denzel's been that. Tom Hanks has been that. Tom Cruise has been that. There's a formula for all this stuff. And that's why it's so damn hard. Some of the guys don't want it. I'm not sure Wemby wants it. I think Ant, by the way, if Ant played in Los Angeles, I think you'd have a shot. If Wemby was in New York, international, maybe a shot. But there's a lot of components to this stuff, and I don't think Jason Tatum, and this is not disrespectful to his game, but when I watched the finals, I mean, they shipped Marcus Smart out of town, a defensive guard, because he was taking the ball out of Jason Tatum's hands. Nobody took it out of LeBron's hands, including Kyrie Irving and D. Wade. Nobody took the ball out of Michael's hands. And Kareem, you run the show. There is an alpha. There is a formula. Jason Tatum's a great player. But he's closer to Duncan in personality than Magic. Just think about this. Close your eyes, unless you're driving and listening on radio. Let's close our eyes. Close our eyes. Think about Magic Johnson. You can see the smile. Think about Michael. You can see that cocky grin. Think about LeBron. You can see the imagery. Pre-game, chalk. You can close your eyes, and there's images with stars. Close your eyes now and do it with Tatum. I don't see anything. 26 a night? I don't see anything. Close your eyes and do it with Duncan. You see a rebound? I'm not being harsh here. I can close my eyes and I see Magic Johnson smile and laugh. I see Michael Jordan in the documentary. He see his intensity, his brooding intensity, but his likability. LeBron James, say what you want. I close my eyes. I can see his game running down the floor, blocking things. There's a formula to this stuff. I don't think the NBA needs it, but we've had 3 all time. That's it. Okay, I got one other thing I want to touch on. And I may have been rambling there, but, I feel strongly about that. So, I've said this before. I'm divorced. When you get a divorce, you got to be a grown-up, okay? Guys, if you're going to get a divorce, you have to realize she may date somebody that's better looking than you and much more successful than you. Are you comfortable with that? Grass is always greener. Are you comfortable with that? So when the Dallas Mavericks made that trade,